Welcome, I'm Bill Wake. We're here today working on Dungeons and Patterns. It's a role-playing game. We're writing in Elm. Originally it was an in-person live-action kind of Dungeons and Dragons kind of style game. But we're trying to convert it to something we can run online. And we've been at it for a number of episodes. This is episode 13. What we're doing this time is we've modified, we had a game description that tells us all the rooms and some puzzles and some actions and the right answer, but we haven't really set up something that knows the starting room, and it's hard coded right now in our code. We'd like to make that part of the game description, and we've done some setup work. We added it to the description file and we read it in, but we don't actually look at it and do anything with it at this point. So we'd like to do that. And then the next thing is we've got some internationalization work. So I18N, if you spell it internationalization in English, I guess that's it's 20 letters total, starts with I, ends with N. What we also have is a number of text items like headers and things like that also are in English, hard-coded in our code. So we tell you the actions, what do you want to do? What's your guess? Doors, some other stuff. We tell you that, and it's all in English and it's all hard-coded. We'd like to move that into the game description as well, and then pull from there instead of pulling from hard-coded values. All right. I tried to start out IntelliJ, and it was a little slow starting up. Let's see if we're there. Okay, I don't see one. Well, let's see, what can we do? I think let me open another window like this. Okay, and kind of get things a little organized. I don't know, lately I've been just sort of running in last minute and trying to figure things out. But I'm hoping I can get IntelliJ over here, and we'll put our Twitch session here with the chat. And hopefully, if you chat something, I will notice. I'm still working on that one. Okay, and we got the chat. The IntelliJ is still... I mean, I did give it 5 minutes or so I don't know. Well, while that's going, let's go back and we'll see some maybe a little review of things just that we've looked at over time. Okay, we got some notion of fonts. I think we've got an adequate font now, and maybe we'll stick with that. Let's see. We also have this notion of the map. Last time we did some work on level 1. So we have these rooms that are connected, and they have hallways, which we don't really support hallways yet. But they have doors. So when you solve a puzzle, the S door opens, the secret door. I think that's kind of a Dungeons and Dragon notation. We've done level 1, but not level 2. Okay. And maybe go back here. What were we trying to do? Organize the Dungeons and Patterns, game. Convert from in-person to online. So that's kind of what we've been up to. Use and learn Elm. Well, I've certainly been doing that. Share the game with others. I haven't done so well there. Well, we need to work out how to deploy things. So that'll be some fun. I know I'm going to have to figure out how to get it deposited in the right place on my website. And I don't know, last time I tried to do that, it didn't go so well. So we'll see. I can do it manually, like one file at a time or something. Maybe I can load a directory, but there should be an easier way. Okay. Come on, IntelliJ. You're not keeping up here. Okay, well, tell you what. I'm going to grab a drink of water while that thing tries to come up, and I'll be right back. Still waiting. Oh. Okay. I have a very old Mac. I'm working on changing that. All right. Let's see what else we can find. I think maybe if I'm in Finder. All right. I do have a folder. Yeah, let me bring this over. This will give us a little stuff. Okay, so this is an early, well, it's a version of this thing. We ended up with probably 6 or 8 versions, so I'm kind of trying to accumulate them all back together. But one thing I know is that we have some picture problems, and let's fix that too. Okay, and I'll just go through these, and I've got to do it sometime. If we're gonna get so slow, then maybe this is the time to do that. Okay, so what I'm after is, well, that wasn't it. We have these images. Let's open this folder. Okay, and I'll show these image style. All right, that one looks okay. Some of them are a little flaky. This one I think is okay, but it shows up very large. I think I've set things to say like go by width, but notice this first picture was landscape and this one's portrait, and I think that's kind of throwing things off. Then this one, oh my goodness, like what's going on? And I have no idea how it happened. Some program we were using to edit the files, and by the time you translate it to some other one and some other one, it seems like things have really messed up. Okay, but this is 1C. Let's, oops, don't do that. Let's take this file. I don't know. I'm just going to put it in GIMP for now. We can mark out that stuff on the sides. We can chop out the part in the middle and maybe replace the text there. But IntelliJ, are you? I don't know. That big green check mark gets me so excited. Like, okay, it's finally. All right. So, okay, so it's a transparency issue, kind of. Let's do what we can. Okay, so I can definitely chop off some stuff here. These are almost like burns or something, right? I mean, it's just kind of a weird. Something said when you scrub, I'm just gonna put transparency there. Okay. And then I don't know if I can select by color in a good way. We'll take what we can get here. And I think it's got those kind of grayish like singe marks around the edge. I'm turning them into more simple ones. Let me try this. If I can split the layers, maybe. Don't know if it's doing it. Okay, everything's just going to be slow. Okay. I don't think that did it. Select, let's zoom in. Well, we'll do 100. Okay. If I do a select by color, I'll try and only take the black parts. I don't know if I've done it or not. Not a lot of feedback there, huh? Okay, we'll take a... Let's take a copy. And we'll make a new copy. Okay. I don't know if it's taken... Okay, we'll zoom back in. I guess... Maybe 50 would work better. I'm just trying to chop out this junk. Let's try again. Select by color. We'll take the background. I'll try cutting it out. Okay, there's a little weirdness there. I don't know what it is. Just a little bend in the stuff. I'll delete that, and then from over here, I'll take these back, paste them in over here. No, you know what? I'm going to undo that. Let's try and fill this with white. I mean, that's a moderately sized image, I will grant. But still seems slow. And we'll fill in that little spot. Oh, well, that was a bad move. Let's try a little paintbrush. I don't think this little corner matters that much, maybe. I'll try a pencil. This is probably the sort of thing that got me in trouble in the first place. Okay, now I'll paste this back in. Copy that. Paste it back in. Try that again. Paste in. Put back in selection mode. trying to center this. Okay. Let me do a little more trimming. Just trying to get this side corresponding. I guess I'll take an anchor. Okay. I mean, that much. Let's take off this. Try to match the top to bottom a little bit. Crop to content. And let's export to fleas.gif. Price it. Now, what I probably should be doing is go through these images, get them all sort of at the same resolution, and go from there. But let's quit this. Okay. Hi, weird. That seems like a very odd size for something that was so big. Okay, don't know why that did that. All right, one image improved. Okay, do we have IntelliJ yet? I don't know. Don't know what to think here. I guess I will try again. I hate doing this, but I guess I should have tried again 10 minutes ago. Okay. Yes, there we go. Let's move this over there. That's more like it. Okay. Oh. Thought I'm using Linux. I don't know. I've had to dabble in it sometimes. It's fine. I mean, I've used Unixes for a long time. You know, I'm on Mac OS for the most part on my personal side. Yeah, I don't know. Have you been using it? Is it kind of your main deal? All right. Let's see. So we left off this question of getting the initial room set up in our update. So we're telling. Let me go back to the main over here. Okay, so when the game starts, let's go all the way back to the top. Init says we're using the one that lets you do commands. So the initialization is an initial state, initial model, and an initial command. So the initial model is just kind of a dummy dungeon. It's got a start and it's got one. It says I visited the one room, and I don't know anything about rooms or anything else. It's just kind of minimal. I've got one room. It's unknown. It's got, weird stuff in it. The command, initial command, I'm not seeing that. Where is that? There it is. Okay. It says do an HTTP get, read the file dungeon.json. We're expecting JSON, and we're going to call load game and use game decoder to decode it. So that forces the initialization state to load that file and call this function. Load game knows the result of loading. It could be an error and an error type, and then it presumably will load the game. I mean, we want that to be what happens. Okay, and we decide that down in here. Load game, so if it's an okay game or it's an error game. Error, we don't care. We're just going to throw up a dummy room that has no exits or something. Okay, but in the real case, we want to get a new game. All right, now what we've changed, and again, let me get game. All right, so a game now has a starting room. A game used to just be a dictionary with the map in it, but now it has a starting room. So when it loads this thing, it definitely reads the starting room, but nothing in the main. In here, when we set up the initialization, we don't use the starting room. So that's the thing we're trying to put in our test, and we left off trying to write that test last time. Okay, so update should use the game starting room as the initial current room. The result of an update message model goes to model and command message. Well, we know we're going to have command none, but we need to say what we're expecting. So the update load game that produces the model message, we want that to be equal to, well, it's going to be a pair. The model is trickier. The message is command.none. Excuse me. Command.none, and then the model, that's our state model. We really expect starting room to be set in there. So let's check our state. It does have the current room. Sorry, the starting room of the game or of the dungeon should be the current room when we start the game, is what that says. So they're kind of two different concepts. The current room and the starting room, just at that first moment, those two are equal. Okay, so the model we expect is a state, and I don't know, it's got a bunch of stuff. Maybe I can make this easier. Well, okay. And this is where I'm kind of too ignorant in Elm still. I've got a command and a message. I'm sorry, a model and a command. Am I right there? Message produces model command. Okay, so I've got those two. I don't really care about anything except in the model, does the first, does the current room equal the starting room? Okay. So this thing is, let's see, I should be able to pull something out, and I don't know how I do that. Let's try this. So lambda model message goes to, let's just get the model out. Actually, I think I want the starting room of the model. And that should be room 1. Okay, now. All right, let's turn these things on. So this one is, Elm Reactor is running a little web server at 8000 to look at. This one, I run the Elm tests, which will complain about my horrible syntax. Okay. Function cannot handle the argument sent through the pipe. The argument is a model goes to command message. but it's piping it to something that expects a starting room with a string and a B. Well, I don't know. I thought the result of update with a message. What's the message? Load game. Okay, new game. And a model. My goodness, have we not given it a model? Let's take... I'm going to change the text on this a little bit. Let's make this new start. I don't want to get confused. Okay, so too late. I hear you. This more or less monstrosity is one game, and this thing needs a second argument. The second argument needs to be a model, and in this case, we have a model up here we can use. This room 1 visited is a model, so we're going to start from room 1 visited. Okay, is the model we're calling with. And so I expect this to be update with load game and a model. I expect that to turn into a model and command message, which is this pair. Now, I don't know why it's still unhappy. I may start out some other stuff. Okay, let's see what we got. The function cannot handle the argument through the pipe. The argument is a model and a command message, but this is piping it to a function that expects a bunch of other stuff. Oh, this should also be new start. I don't know. I'm not quite. No, sometimes I'm not quite clear on the precedence of things, but let's pull this game out. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3 parentheses there and there. Let's take this, and I'm going to make this a game with start room. All right. And then I'm going to use that down here to try and make this a little more readable. That goes to there is game with start room. Okay. So update load game. I don't think I need parentheses there now. Okay. Update load game. Okay. New game. And we're saying model equals to new game. And then we also pass in room 1 visited, which is a model. So if your current room is room 1, and you say update this, then we expect that back. I'm going to take more parentheses out. I think I was too conservative. Now there's something still going on, and this is me not knowing how to pull out those arguments. Okay, the argument is model and command message. Well, I don't really care what that one is. Can I do that? A function that expects A with actions and a bunch of stuff. That's not starting. It's not starting room. Okay, let's see. It's the current room, right? So the model, let's get to the model again. The model in our case is a state. So let's see state. State has a current room. So this should be current room. This should be current room. Okay, oh, that's more promising. So given a model and a command I don't care about, if you fetch the current room from that model, if you've done your update correctly, then you should be in the new start. And I'm going to change it again. This is, well, I don't do this all the time, but I do it often enough. You know, it's like I look at the test and I go like, oh, that's a little confusing. Let's try and make it more clear, like what really is going on. Okay, so given an update, if you have OK game with start room and your current setup is room 1 visited, then when you finish, we'll pull out the current room from the model, and we expect that to be equal to the new command room. And this should fail. Oops. This should fail for the right reason. not those reasons we've been doing. Okay, this is good. We expect to use the starting room as the initial value, and it came back room 1 instead of new current room. All right, that we can fix. Oh, goodness. All right, so in main, we have the update command. All right, so here we took the game from the game that got read in on the load. All right, but we also need to get the current room. Okay, so current room equals dot current room of new game. And what's your problem? Oh, it equals starting room. Okay, so the new game says, here's the room you should start this thing in, and we're going to make that the current room, and we're going to make the game the new game. So this is the stuff we loaded in. We're trying to take advantage of it now. Okay, and I hope I hit save and it passes. Well, that was sure easy, wasn't it? And it's not uncommon you spend more time getting the test straightened out than you do on the actual behavior. But okay, so now let's go look at our dungeon JSON. We got 1A. Let's see where we talk about 1A in here. Do we hard code that? Where do we hard code that? Okay, I don't see any 1As there. Let's do a global 1A. Okay, it's in the dungeon. That's fine. It's in a bunch of binaries. I couldn't care less. Starting room 1A, dungeon. Okay, so nothing in our code knows the starting room anymore. It just we give it a default start, and I think we can improve the way we're doing this. Like I got 3 rooms that look like starting room things or something. You know, we can work that out, but nobody sets the starting room except for this place or uses it. And I think it makes sense to me. You know, like you read in the game, then we're going to pull the starting room is going to be the new current room, and the game is going to be the new game we read, and that should be great. Normally, as far as I know, this will always be the starting point. We're doing this initial command. We gave it kind of a dummy model, this initial model. We're immediately going to override it with whatever we get from the dungeon. Now, I do need to consolidate these rooms. We really kind of want a room that says, you just, you know, something bad happened, we can't recover. You know, that's what we want for this initial state, because we just don't expect to ever show that to the user. All right. But this is a nice step. Okay. More text should come from the dungeon description. Well, okay. I think what we really did was we use the starting room from the game description. I think that's the reality. Okay. And I think I also had a note here about pictures that needed work. Okay, we did 1C, I hope. Okay. All right, so that says we should be able to run this thing. Okay, so let's go over here. Well, let me open that one. Okay. So we're in the initial room. We got the inviting button, say my name. You got an action you can do, and you can go through the doors. Let's see if we can find room 1C. That's not it. Go back here. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Well, that picture looks much better. You know, I didn't mind the gray holes where it looked old. You know, I just didn't like the ones that covered up the words. Okay. So I guess what happened was I must have used some sort of eraser that had a little bit of a blur function to it. And so it looked better on what I originally did, but this is okay. All right. I'm good. That's like we want. All right, but you can also see the text here. What do you do? Right? I think the next thing is let's deal with those. Okay. Now, more text from the dungeon description. Okay, did I started things? Yes. Okay, so we got that. All right, so the other text is we got those headers. We got to get these pattern names in there somehow. What else looks? That's a header. Oh, we got some answer kind of stuff. Okay. All right. My idea is the game, we're going to add some more to it. So, we got the starting room as a string, the map is a dictionary. I want to add some text, and the text is going to be a dictionary from some string. Well, it's really string to string. It's kind of like a key and a value, another string. So the what do you do headline is going to have a key. Okay. All right. So all right, where are we going to do that? Well, I think what we'll have to do is update game. And I don't know, I'm trying to find ways to make this as incremental as I can. But when it's yeah, I mean, as soon as I add something to this, I've kind of broken my serialization. So I think we want to get the serialization working first. I think we did okay in that sense. We got the serialization working, and we weren't using it anywhere yet. Okay, so if I try and use it first, then I've got a broken reader, and I can't do anything like that. Okay, so we want to add to this, and I guess, let's see, game test probably has all that stuff. Game can read from JSON. Okay, so I think what I'm trying to say will happen is we will have a text, and whether that's the best key, I don't know, but it's going to take some stuff. If I put text and I put in a key that says Let's pull something from main. Let's do, well, the scene has nothing, the header. Let's say header.action is the key. And the value is this. What's the... Nope. There's a... Yeah. Nope. Nope. I don't know. Expand selection. I've forgotten the keystroke, but we'll just do it this way. Okay. So, yeah. So this is what I want to see. I want to see header.action. And then down here later, we'll use that from the game's text area. But, all right. This should equal OK expected. Well, game from list. All right. I guess I'm going to have to add to this. Oh, God, I hate doing that. All right. I also see we've been going a while. Normally we take a break about now. So let's take a break, 2 or 3 minutes. We'll come back and get these games adjusted and get working. All right. So see you in a couple minutes. Hey, welcome back. All right. So the deal is game.from list. I don't know. I can... Let's go see that thing. Okay, so game.from list, it takes the room name and it takes this list, but it doesn't know anything about the text stuff we're talking. So let me see if I can overload that. So my idea is I have a room name and give me the text, which is a dictionary string, and you give me this list. Room name and room, and I will give you a game. And hopefully starting room list, starting room, texts, and list. Okay, now what's the complaint? I can't do that. Okay. It doesn't like the same name. All right. There's no overloading like that. Let's just say make. So to make a game, you give it a room name, which is the starting room. You give it a text. Well, let's call it a name. I don't know. Sometimes I use this naming convention. Key to string. It's a little arbitrary. Sometimes I do it like this. And this list of room names and rooms, I don't know what you'd call that. But anyway, okay. So right now, my test could use make instead of game.from list. All right, if it produces a dictionary. Okay, so room, this stuff is not a dictionary, but let's make an empty one. And I think, can I do this for constants? All right, let's find some Elm documentation. Whoops, that can go. Close that. So Elm, what am I trying to do? Well, I want to create a dictionary constant. This may be another list. The reason lists were done that way. Not much help. Probably this is better. I don't know if this would be considered a literal. Well, there's lists, records, operators. Where's dictionary? Not found. Okay, so it's just let's do another list. A little annoying, but we can live with it. Probably why I did it the first time. So this will be a list of string and string. And I think we need another name for this then. It's not a list, it's well, I guess I'll use the same key room name to room. Okay. Now we have a make. It takes a list of stuff. Let's turn this into a list of stuff. All right. And our expected, we're expecting header.action to go to what do you do ? And a parent there. Whoops, inside. Okay. Expand that. Okay, game.make room 1. It takes a list of string to strings. It takes a list of room to rooms. And it reads this, and it should come out with that. All right. Now, we're not doing anything with this yet. This is kind of a minimal thing to make the test fail. All right, so I'll save. We'll see our terminal. Test run passed. Interesting. Okay, so this is one of those where I expected it to fail and it didn't. And I think the reason it's failing is nothing is looking for this text right now. We put it in here, but the game doesn't care. Nothing cares. So let's I think we're going to say game knows more. Okay. Game knows dialogue for room name. Well, that's interesting. Let's do this. Okay. So I'm just trying to find this kind of minimal test that proves we don't do anything yet. So game knows the text mapping. All right, and that'll be lambda nothing. Goes to. Do we need all this stuff? Well, let's take this. If we do game.make room 1 and so on, then when we take well, I want to do something about the text. So I want to say if you took that game.text for header.action, well, then I would expect the string what do you do to come back. Okay, and this is not defined, and text is probably not a good name. What do we normally call that? I don't know. It's, should I say translate? So if you translate header.action, you should get what do you do. Right, there is no game.translate function yet. Let's define it. Okay, description, image. Let's do a translate. Okay, translate, you give it a game and you give it a string, and it gives you a translated string. Game key equals we want to take the text for a room. For a room, let's see, text for, well, we want to take the text field from the game. Okay, that should be a dictionary. And then if we look up, well, look up is room named game, huh? We look up the key in the game that we got, sorry, in the dictionary. And it needs to be maybe with default. We don't really want lookup. Okay, that's definitely wrong. I guess we want maybe with default get room from the map. I don't know. I guess it's irrelevant for the moment, right? Let's take the easy way out here. Okay. This, whatever we do, it shouldn't be wrong. Okay. That I'm pretty sure of. There we go. It got wrong. It expected what do you do? Okay. So what we want to do then, we want to get the text from the game. Okay. And I think we can say that by saying text is a dictionary from string to string. Okay. So we get the game. Oh, that's going to create more problems, isn't it? Okay, let's see. Can we do something better here? Okay, the minute we say there's something in there, everybody goes crazy. I mean, it's a little bit okay because we're kind of in the middle of it, but all these things are not going to like it. Well, we're doing this kind of thing. Okay. Empty game has no translations. I'm just gonna force these in for everybody. Nobody's doing anything with them yet, so in principle it shouldn't be a big problem. Ooh, but we'll need this. Gonna get rid of that somehow. Ignore. Let's look at JSON.decode. One of. Now it's funny, I really would like an ignore mapper or decoder. Value. Do not do anything with a JSON value, just bring it to Elm as a value. That's promising. Okay, well, let's try that. Where's required? All right, what's going on? Required as part of the other serialization thing, isn't it? Pipeline. Yeah, let's find that thing. Ooh, something right after this said something about optional. No, that's not really it. Okay, let's see this. Well, hard-coded might be okay. Yeah, let's try that. Hard-coded and then a value. Okay. And then I need a map. Dict.fromList empty. Okay. So I'm saying, don't I have to give a name? No. Does not look at the JSON, it always defaults. And this is not complaining now. I guess it needs a map 3 because there's implicitly going to map 3 because there's 3 things in there. Maybe that's okay. All right, let's do a save. I'm seeing red dots over here, so other people are not happy. Starting room. What's wrong with this? Okay, let's... Game test. Oh, that's not... Yeah, we got to update any declarations of this. So now it needs... When it creates game directly, it needs to create all the pieces. And since we're not doing anything with the text in these, we're okay. Game.roomList. From list. I'm kind of surprised it's not complaining about that. Okay, we're back to this. Guess game knows text mapping. Wrong should be what do you do? Okay. Let's see where that test is. Okay, so I'm giving you a game. I'm saying translate header.action, and I want this. All right, so we have a translate function. All right, we're going to pull text from the game, and then we need to do the dictionary lookup, which is going to be this. Well, I think I can do it in a forward direction. If I get that from the text, get key from text to the game. All right, that should be dictionary.get. I mean, that's which one it is. Okay, so look up the key in the text of the game. Now, that gives you a maybe because you might not have the key in there. All right, so we can do maybe with default and a default value. Oops, maybe with default, and the default value I want, I'm going to say you get key back. That's a pretty standard way to do it. I don't know what's wrong, but what I'm trying to say is look up the key in the text mapping that we have here, which I really do want a better name, but I don't have it. Look up the key in that dictionary. If you find it, return it. Otherwise, we're going to use maybe with default and just give a default value. Now, am I misremembering? Maybe with default might default room does get key value. Okay, so I think that should be. Oh, it's red went away. I think that should pass. Header.action. Okay, is that what we looked up? Translate game header.action. Okay. Dictionary get key. Oh, I put them in different order. I am not quite sure. Normally you pass the key, then the dictionary. So translate. Let's. Dictionary get comparable and dictionary gives a maybe. All right, so translate. I'm going to change the order. And I'm trying to kind of follow the way Elm does things so that you kind of get these implicit well, because you have this automatic currying, you get kind of the arguments in the right place to just kind of fall through. So I don't know. String to game. Okay, let's move game to the end here. Okay, so translate header.action in game from game. All right, translate key game. Look up the key in the dictionary. If you don't find it, then just return the key. Okay, and I think that should pass, but I thought the last one should pass. Okay. Failed. Header.action. Oh, I don't want to. Do I want to return the key? Okay, header.action should have what do you do? Oh, our make doesn't do any making. It just does that. All right, so what it should do is dictionary from list key string. Okay. Goodness. Okay. That looks like our next test failed. Okay, so I think that means this test is passing, but now the game reading from JSON is failing, which is correct. We did that hard-coded thing here, and we just returned an empty dictionary. Okay. Right. So what are we getting? Well, dictionary from list. We got it without reading anything, but text is now header.action. What do you do? Okay. Oh, that's what we expected. We didn't get anything in text, did we? Answer room text is empty dictionary. Okay. Let's do one more little trick to make sure we're doing what we think we are. And let me just make this unexpected value. Okay, I won't leave this. I'm just doing this to verify to myself that the dictionary is coming from that hard-coded thing. Yes. Okay, not from the text of what we read. All right, this is good. Okay. Now, parsing a dictionary. Okay. That's been automatically generated, so they did the work for that. Dictionary from list, JSON.decode room decoder. All right, let's go back to the Google. All right, so Elm JSON.decode dictionary. Maybe example. Decode takes the decoder in order to handle the keys. Decoder that's almost helpful. Use a combination. Okay, my goodness, this is the stuff I don't want to do. and yes, I am lazy about this. Okay, decoder dictionary string to foo, decode list, decode map, tuple pairs, blah 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 blah. And is that he's done a real map. To the disk where ID is key. Oh, so he's trying to pull something from the inside. That's a little more complicated. Decoder of dictionary string. All right, let's look at this. Well, I'll take another one or two. JSON object to record. Okay, that's a little more complicated. Object to dictionary. Okay, this D is JSON.decoder. Dictionary string to string is D.dict, D.int. How does it know that? What's his dictionary? Or what's his type? Object to record. Like, why doesn't he have to mention string? That's string to string. Place D above with D.string. Decode int. Well, let's see. Why is string okay up there? Oh, JSON.decode.string. Okay, I'm still a little fuzzy here. I think this is okay. Yeah, looks like it's working. I'm not quite clear why we don't need the right-hand type. We just have the type of the key. But we are getting what we expect, so I'm not going to complain. Oh, all right. I don't know. It's more traumatic to me than I expected to have to kind of fix all these things in place. All right, but there's still something wrong here. Anybody who's using from list probably should be using make. And even there, I don't know. It looks like they should just be using game. If you just said game, starting room, dictionary, text, like what do you need make for? All right, so let's try that. Let's just say game. Oh, I have to say dictionary from list. Okay, I guess I'll take it back. It's got a little bit of a function to it. Okay. But anybody doing from list, let's find those. I think I want to move them all to make. And I'll just comment this out and do a build and let it tell me where everything is. Maybe that's not a good way. Probably not a good way. Okay, who's got from list? Main test. Okay. Save that again. Good. All right. Let's push. We haven't done that in a while. All right. So I think what we've done is we use the starting room. Add text map. This is really a translation map to game. Is that not it? I will push. All right. So we've got our new field in there that provides the text. I think I'm going to change that name to translation. I know. It's like I change these things back and forth, but I think that's going to help us understand what's going on. All right, now who's going to break? Well, this should be translation. Somebody down here. Yeah, translation. Okay, the save should pass. So much for that. Field name translation. Oh yeah, test for game. Okay. No. All right. I guess that's assuming this works. Yes. Okay. Let's push that too. All right, and I think it's probably a good time for another break. Let's see. So we've got this translation field. We've got a dictionary that will pick up translation things. We don't actually use it yet. So the next step is we want to make, well, any of these fields, any of these English phrases should be in our dictionary for translation. So we want to make that work. All right, so we'll take that 2-minute break, come back, and start using our translations and see what happens. All right, see you in a couple. All right, welcome back. All right, so what we want to do is when we see text like this, we want to make that come from the dungeon description. All right, and so the first aspect of that I'm going to do is I want to make this, I'm going to hard code the key and look it up instead of just putting the English string. Okay, what that means is I need the game to do this. So let's see what we got there. Well, I have the model. I don't think it would be bad if my model said, I have a translate method and you give me your key and I will tell you what's going on. So let's add that. Okay, so model is state. All right, so what we want, oh, notice these two. And this, wow. Okay. We want a method that you ask it translate a key and it gives you back the translation. We don't need to worry about, well, game will do that. Okay, so let's test state test. Okay, so if we test state knows how to translate text. We give it nothing, and we say state current. Well, let's just use ignored. Do I have one that I can work? I don't really. Let's do some definitions here. Let's do let in. So let's let game equal something, and then we're going to let state equal something. All right, and state equals is going to be all this stuff. With the game. Okay, game is, well, mostly this has been using empty game, so that's kind of unfortunate, but we'll do game dot make, ignore this. Our dictionary is dictionary dot from list. The key and value, and then game has another dictionary, right? I think we can get by with nothing. Okay, so we'll create a game. The real key of it is this dictionary with the translations. We create a state, and now let's do some assertion. So if we take the state, well, we want to ask state dot translate I think key and state, and we expect that to equal value. Okay, there is no state translate, so we'll have to implement that. Okay, so translate goes from a key and a state to another value. Okay, and translate key state equals. All right. Again, we'll start with something wrong. Okay, what is the problem here? Is this going to be pairs? Game. Let's see what we got. Take say list. Right, I'm doing too much work. Okay, it already takes the list and it takes the second list. Okay. So game state built from game. You ask it to translate key from state. We expect to get value. And where's state is returning something wrong. Should fail. Return is equal to value. Should be equal to value. Okay. So the way to translate, we need the game from the state, and then from there we want to get I guess we want to translate the key. Okay, game.translate. Okay, so dig out the game, call translate on it, given that key, and we should get the value. We'll do save and passed. All right. So now you can ask the state to do the translation. Let's look at our main. All right. So instead of text, what do you do? And I haven't been testing my HTML generation, so you probably you're welcome to yell at me, tell me, convince me I'm wrong. So instead of text, what do you do? Let's do that for a moment. All right, the text is really going to be the model. Well, it's going to be state.translate from the key. Is that what we said? State translates the key and the state. The key is, I'll say header.action. And the state is the model. Okay, so instead of just getting what do you do, we're going to say translate header.action from the model, and that should be the thing. All right, so that's not too horrible. And I don't think the tests are going to fail because, like I said, we're not really testing these things. All right, so let's go back over here and reload this. Okay, where are we? Well, something's funny, but notice this. This is header.action. That's what we actually expect now because we didn't put anything in our JSON about it. What's the pattern? And doors. Now, why are we in the wrong room? That's a bigger problem. Okay, let's do a reload again. Okay. Oh. Game 2, wrong room. Oh, I know what it is. All right. The deal is our error handling is woefully inadequate, pitiful. I'm not sure the right phrase. Load game error. We don't even tell you what the error is. We just shove in this kind of game 2 fail room. Okay. And that's we just put you there. Okay. The reason it's failing is this is a required field. Translation is a required field in our dungeon, and we don't have it. Okay, so let's go dungeon. All right, we got map, we got starting room. We don't have translation. So even without that, this should be, I'm not sure. I guess it should be, yeah, that'll be a map. Okay, so this should make it run. Yeah, good theory. All right, what's going on? We've got translation. We got an empty list. I'm feeling like, oh, we gotta do some work here. So let's see. We had an example in game test, right? Here's starting room, room 1. Translation is some stuff. We'll just take this for now. And it closes that map and it goes to another map. That all looks kind of right to me. Header action, what do you do? Okay. Let's see. Did that? He's not looking for those. Interesting. Okay. Test shouldn't care, but something's going on here. Oh. I'm very happy to see this. Did we run it after we did our starting room stuff? Could there be leftover things from that? I thought we did. All right, let's see what's going on with air. So this is air is coming. Well, it's part of our message. So load game. It's really an http.error. Let's see. And I think the deal is there that you get you have a subcategorization thing that gives you like 7 or 8 possible errors. Yeah, okay. Well, it's 5. Bad URL, timeout, network error, bad status, bad body. Okay. So I think I can. All right. I think I can figure out when it's a bad body. I'm not sure how the matching works. Let's say error, bad body of message. I probably overloaded that type, yes. Error message. Game equals that. It's almost like I need somewhere to put that message. I don't know, should the model have that? Nobody wants to see messages all the time. Golly. I hate to make these things grow and grow and grow. Current room, visited, actions, guesses, game. All right, what I'm saying is there's an additional bit of information that's like the error message. And it need not exist. All right, let's put it in there. Okay, and we will display it somewhere. In here. guess they do it like that. All right, and then we got to initialize it. It just gets uglier and uglier. Init. Who else? Well, there's going to be other places that need it, probably. Right, state test. Current, yeah, any of these declarations. Excuse me. All right, who else? Main test. Oh, not too bad. All right. Now, did this thing compile? Yeah. Body error message. Model game equals game 2. Let's say, what do we call that in our state? Error message. Yeah, so I already used that name. The message. Okay. And I guess my hope is, and my expectation is, it's kind of working its way sequentially, in effect, that once it matches this one, it won't need to match that one. All right. And let's see how it runs. No. All right, let me mess up my JSON now, because I think that's okay. Dungeon JSON. Let's take this out first. See if it likes that. No problem there. Okay, wouldn't have expected a problem there. This, I think, might give a problem. Okay, that's a heck of a message. Problem with the given value. Oh dear. Expecting an object with a field translation. That's at least something. That's a lot of junk to get that. We'll leave that for the moment, but I think it's not what you call a good sign. Okay, so with this one, let's reload. Notice header.action. Okay, so that tells us we should translate that. Header.action. What do you do? What do you do? All right. What's the pattern and doors? Okay, so this is header.answer is what's the pattern? And header.exits is doors. Let's get those two in. Okay, so here we're doing state.translate of something. Okay, what's the pattern? State.translate header.answer. And this one is the same thing with exits. Oops. Action, answer. I think I messed up my paste buffer. Clumsy. Okay, just this header.exits model. Okay, with luck and care. All right, that all looks good. All right, now when you choose an action, that text comes from the thing. That's fine. The words I don't know and observer prototype proxy, they all come from there something. Okay, and this comes from somewhere. Sorry, that's not it. Right. Okay. So I don't know. We hate to have to ask the model that. All right, but I don't know is an interesting one because that's coming from here, and that text that's where we're generating that somewhere. We've got that in the list explicitly. But this text is something. I mean, it's sort of the I don't know. It's like a trigger phrase. What do we do here? Choose an action. They see that's sort of the same. We probably don't need that in every single one of these has choose an action, choose an action, choose an action. All right, so let's make up one that's well, maybe I should flip these around. Maybe answer.header would be a better way to go. Okay, and let's flip these. Exits.header. Okay. So exits.header, answer.header. Okay, so maybe this is answer.default is choose, was it? I don't know. Okay. And the action dot default should be choose an action. Okay. And notice the patterns, the answers, I should say. Somewhere we have a list. Yeah, right here. I don't know, observer prototype proxy. What I think we want to do, and this may be subject to change, these observer prototype proxy, they're all answers in these things. So what I think we should be doing is going through the map and finding the set of answers for all puzzles and making a list of those, basically an alphabetized list of those with I don't know slapped on the front. And that's what they should be working from, at least in this game. I could imagine wanting a more sophisticated scheme. Like, it wouldn't be the worst thing to say, only get the ones that are in level 1. But our game doesn't really know about levels. It just knows rooms. And the fact that, going from 1L or 1G to 2A, you can't go back and it's a new level, that's very implicit. I mean, we kind of fake our way with the language, but the system itself doesn't know that there's anything going on there. Or we could make make the, instead of just giving one answer, we could give the choices as well as the answer. So we would only show you certain choices on each one and kind of limit the scope of guessing rather than being faced with 23 design patterns. 23 for a drop down is kind of getting in the annoying territory. All right. But I think we can get this stuff from here. This, I don't know right now. I think that comes from here is the only place. The change one, choose an action one, that we can do. And the other thing I like with that is I think if you had a situation where you had a room with no actions, then you don't want choose an action on there. You really just don't want to show the whole section. And again, maybe more sophisticated, but all right. So what do we got going here? We got some more stuff in our dungeon text. Choose an action. All right, that's very implicit. Okay, that's the acting. Right now we get the header, the list of these things. Where's that coming from? Triggers is list up map trigger to dialogues. So we just show the trigger. Yeah, so we're caring about the actions that you can select. All right, so this could be more sophisticated. All right. And really, I don't know, these are almost like little flags telling me like, maybe this should be information that you're pulling from the I guess from the model. Where are you getting that? Trigger pairs goes to trigger from the dialogues. Oh, that's from the game, which comes from the model. It would be reasonable to say what are the triggers, and then those get shown here. Okay. For a model, what are the triggers? It's one of those functions. It's kind of on the border between a display function and a calculation. I mean, the values are coming from the from this object. So in that sense, it's not a display thing per se, but you do want the list of texts of possible actions. Not sorted, just give them to me, and I will choose an action on the front. Okay. Get action response. Oh, we got a whole function for that. And again, it's kind of, it's doing stuff to get there. All right. It's not doing 4 minutes of fix it quick stuff. So let's see, what can we do in the last couple minutes here? I think, okay, this is not clearly coming from the right place. I don't know why I say it that way. It's coming from the wrong place. All right. Any other English text? Let's start there. Okay. There's something going on with this game 2. We got to figure that out. I think the error message thing is kind of a bust. That message is not useful to anybody. Let's go back to doing this. Let's take off the message from here. There's going to be a bunch of places that added that extra parameter that we're going to get rid of. It's just too much stuff. Okay. Let's save and see if something's going to break, right? Here we go. Main.elm. That one. And errors model. Let's take that back back out. Main test. Okay, did I miss anything else? All right, so I think we're still doing this. More text coming from the dungeon description. We will pick up there next time. And next time is Friday. What is that? The 29th? So this coming Friday, the 29th, 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern Time. We will pick up there and find these other strings that are floating around and use them, fetch them from our description file. So these are examples. I'm not worried about like the style things or things like that where I named it. Nobody sees it from the user side. We don't care about that, but we do care that the text like this is coming from there. And so we'll do internationalization, and then we'll do the work to fetch the answers and actions from the file instead of kind of semi-hard coding them. All right. So thanks for joining me today. Hope you can catch me in the future, and take care. Bye-bye.